Now, what is your name, please?
Mohammad Ibrahim.
And you're from where?
I'm from Chad.
Okay, now you're in America. Where are you living at now?
I live in Chicago.
In Chicago. Now, tell me a little bit about what happened today. What brought the president of Chad to Washington D.C. and even to New York?
Actually, he came to New York for the UN General Assembly that uh, I think every year around this month, September, all the president of the world meet in New York, for diplomatic or politic talks. So, and then we have a new embassy, and he's here to inaugurate the embassy.
Right here in Washington D.C.
Yeah, and then being a member of the community, and I was invited to come with a delegation to just, you know, appreciate the new infrastructure, I mean, the new building.
Tell me, not a lot of people around Fort Wayne are familiar with the president of Chad. What can you tell us about him to give us an idea as to the kind of a leader that he is?
Well, I left Chad 10 years ago. It was a little bit rough that time, and
Rough meaning what?
um, he was new. He came new, and there was a lot of problem, a lot of issues, security problems, and also a lot of political fights, and also, you know, he replaced, he overthrew our former president that kind of left the country in a chaos. So I believe now the country is becoming more and more stable. I think he's doing well, but we are expecting more from him.
Because it seems like he's kind of reaching out to the world here a little bit.
Oh yeah. I mean, Chad is an oil producer, so uh, obviously people will be interested in Chad, but does that do any good to us? I don't know.
One thing I've noticed is we have quite a few people from Chad in Fort Wayne, and they're interesting, and just some of the stories I've heard are very interesting. Um, what is it, as you made? I mean, you look like you've always been in the United States all your life. What made the transition so seemingly easy for you, especially as the way you've grasped the English language?
Well, I went to an English speaking school before coming to the United States. I was in an English speaking country. So and then we also learn English as a second language in Chad for people who are interested in, put more efforts to speak it better. And as you know, English now is spoken almost everywhere in the world. Everybody try to speak, a little. So, yeah, talking about the transition, it's not that easy. It's coming from Chad. When I left Chad, a very poor country, and I can not populated. It was when I left Chad, the population was like 7 million. It's just like maybe a city here in the United States, and also moving to the United States. I mean, there is that gap, so it's not easy. Like really, the transition is not that easy. I'm still having some problem.
What has it been like between African blacks and American blacks? Is there a bond there that you see coming together? I mean, is there a strong curiosity factor? Is it a fear factor? What has it been like through your vantage point?
Well, uh, the difference between the black African and the African American, well, I think the difference will be if you take the culture. The African American they are African, first of all. They came from Africa, but they are, I mean, a lot of them don't know exactly. Africa is a big country with several tribes, different culture. It's a really diverse continent. So America is kind of like, I can say, the United States of America is a country where um, there is, I can say for the African American, there is like homogeneous culture, which is the African American culture, you know. But in Africa, we are a little bit, as you see here, we have several tribes. We have the Zakawa, we have the Fulani, we have the Arab tribe, we have different, and each tribe has its own culture and its own belief. So I think that's make the difference. So it's like the African American is, I mean, they a little bit far from the root. Is they lost. None of them have a dialect to say.
Yeah, that I think it was a problem called slavery that did that.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, yes, there's a problem called slavery, but I think it's now people are forgetting that. I mean, it's like it's already the past. It's no more. I think maybe the future generation might not even talk about it anymore.